It's actually the GMs, the coaches. It's Athletic every year. They poll the I'll get the exact number too. It's on that tweet. Let me find it here for you. I believe it was like 12 GMs. I believe it was like 12 head coaches, and they kind of poll just to get they rank the quarterbacks. So yeah, it was Sando from the Athletic. He spoke with 7 general managers, 8 head coaches, 12 coordinators, 12 executives, 8 assistant coaches, and 3 others involved in coaching / analytics. So more as like assistant coaches. And they had them give QB tiers and then QB rankings. And Goff was top 10. However, you read the article, a lot of it felt negative. I don't know if you have the Athletic or subscribe to it at all, but I'll read one of the quotes. It's I'm grabbing a random one here too off the tweet. So it's Goff is somewhere between tier 2 and tier 3 for me, an assistant GM said. He has been really good, but I think he has a great system and good personnel. I'm not sure he carries a team. He's a traditional pocket guy that needs protection, but makes all the throws. He lacks mobility, and I'm not sure he can carry the team exclusively. That's just one of the quotes, but a lot of them seem to echo that. Like I said, if you guys follow me at SpeakEZ Sports _ you get the rest of those as well, or subscribe to the Athletic. But I subscribe to that thinking, but that's not a bad thing because you can win with those guys. Like we were in the NFC Conference Championship with that guy described that way. Like you could say Goff's a system guy. That's okay. We have one hell of a system.
I don't mind system guys, and here's the thing:
we have one hell of a system.
You have a way you build a team, right? And it just what type of assets you put towards your team, your offense, defense, and special teams. And so we have an amazing offensive line, so you can do that. Teams that maybe don't. Maybe they want to build their team differently. They want to have the mobile quarterback, so they're going to put more assets not towards the offensive line. At the end of the day, what does it really matter if you're winning football games, right? Jared Goff, to me, is clutch. I think a lot of people don't realize how clutch he is, and that should be added to his ranking as well. But I don't care if people call him a system guy. We still winning. I'll take it all day if it gives me dubs. And if I'm holding up a Lombardi trophy, I could care less, Antman.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole it's just weird with Goff. I think, he is the right fit for here. And again, that's not a bad thing. Nope. Is he the most individually talented quarterback in the league? No, but some guys who you'd say might be. I mean, like Tua, people would say is better. Like, no playoff wins, no nothing. And he's got a really good team around him all the time, and apparently a really good head coach, really good system. He can't do squat. Like a lot of these guys who are above him have not done as much as what Jared Goff has. And he's now done it with 2 teams. And I think people completely underestimate the whole part about him where he got traded from his team. He got thrown away. We was not wanted and sent to the worst team in the NFL. And he rebuilt himself and that team there. There are, how many quarterbacks do that? Like, how many quarterbacks get traded in the butt end of a deal or released from their team and make it back to a championship game as a bona fide starter? They don't. It's just so rare. So I think nobody takes into account his mental strength. I mean, everyone just talks about arm strength and stuff like that. They don't take into account what's up here as well. And that is where Jared separates himself from a lot of other quarterbacks, because we've seen really talented quarterbacks fail over the years because they've not got it up here. They've got the intangibles, but they don't have the capacity to go through that grind, to go to the bottom, work their way back up. And, and I just think that gets held against it. It's not taken into account, and that's what should rank him in the elite tiers. He's elite at that, and that counts just as much as the physical stuff. But I'm glad we've got him right. That's all I care about, and hopefully we go the whole way under him.
Kansas City just released wide receiver Kadarius Toney. Would that be an option? Or do you look at that game where all the drops that he had, especially versus Lions, and nearly every single team he plays against, all the drops, is that something that you want to bring on this team?
That guy had more drops than Lil Wayne mixtapes. I mean, no, I'm so fine on Kadarius Toney. I don't want that at all. But real quick, as we get some praise to JG, I think one a tangible asset that he brings, especially with this team being as young as it was when he first got here, is you guys have noticed he never seems like too over the top, emotionally happy, mad, whatever it is. He's always got that California cool about him. And I think just like as young as this team was going into like what this was, for him to like remain calm and a lot of those shit moments, and even some of the good ones too, like I think that helped those guys hardened a little bit where they don't blink at anything too. They know just to stay calm and go about it. And it even stretches beyond just a single game as Antman was getting to. I mean, this guy was kicked to the curb from a team that he helped bring to the Super Bowl and had to rebuild himself completely. And it's, I think, I mean, I'm sure you've experienced it, Mike. You've been looking at someone like Herman, like in person, and you're like, damn, this is like Herman Moore right now. This is like, this guy's done so many cool things. And so the things they're saying, you're taking to heart. Well, like JG has that resume now. Like, damn, this is Jared Goff. This guy came back from all this other BS. Like, you know, there's evidence behind the stuff he provides as a leader. And I don't know, he's just a man for the Lions. And I think we're truly going to win a Super Bowl this year, especially if we sign Noah Brown.
He literally is the perfect. Like, you got his name chanted, and how everything happened. It was literally the Island of Misfits, and he was the leader of the Island of the Misfits, and then now he is the hero of the Island of Misfits. So yeah, I look at that article, and I get it. I totally understand. I'm actually not going to argue that, but I think every situation is different. Like, if you had Josh Allen right now, he does all this great stuff, but he throws a ton of picks. And how many championship games has he been in? How many Super Bowls he's been in? Like, so you can always nitpick, and I think that's what I would say. Like, Jared Goff, he's just perfect for here. He's the Detroit Lion right now, and I'm perfectly fine with it. No hate. There is none of that out there, for sure. So again, we're waiting for more cuts to occur. Stephen Gilmore was released earlier. A lot of players were released. The Shane Zylstra one had me. I was shocked in that. I didn't think that James Mitchell deserved to make this roster. Maybe he still doesn't. But I thought it was between James Mitchell and Shane Zylstra, and I thought Shane Zylstra did the better job. And Mitchell Agude, he was released, and I actually think Ukwu was surpassing him. And so what do you think about the Mitchell Agude being released, Antman, and then the SpeakEZ baby?
I mean, I think you nailed it there. I think Ukwu was showing more as a pass rusher. He's been quite good in the last few games, and I do like what he potentially brings to the table. Again, our problem has not been defending the run. Like, we have one of the best run defenses in the league last year. Our problem has been hitting the quarterback with a guy not named Aiden Hutchinson. So I think it will behoove us better to take more guys who can pass rush this year and try and get these guys in to help finish off some of these plays. I think Agood will probably make it back to the practice squad. I reckon we'll see a fair bit of him this year. But I do want to. It's just personally me. I like the guys who can pass rush and can get home. And I mean, look what he did against the Steelers. He launched their left tackle like a lawn dart into the quarterback and made him fumble it, and we got it off him. Like, the dude's mad strong, and he can get to the quarterback. I really like that. So I still expect to see a Goudet, but I would like it if Ukwu could make it with Houston. As SpeakEZ said earlier, take two of them instead of, an extra quarterback. Like, let's just go heavy. Get them third and long, send them all out there, send them wild, get some sacks, turn it over. That's what you do.
Therese Fountain just released, cut, whatever you want to call it, no longer on this football team. SpeakEZ, thoughts on that?
I just feel bad for the guy. I mean, I never got to talk to him or anything like that, but he's making a name for himself, and he's 28, I believe. He at 27, 28. He's up there in age, and he was looking to be like one of the cooler stories in all training camps. But when we hit in-game action, he wasn't good at what he was great at in practice, if that makes sense. Like, in practice, he made his name, I feel like, in a lot of those contested catches because he didn't get much separation. But given those opportunities in the game, he didn't capitalize. And unfortunately, I just, we got to sign Noah Brown now.
It's so unfortunate that we got to try to get Noah Brown or some sort of receiver on here. Look, I like Therese Fountain in the offseason, but he didn't do it when the lights were on. And if you're not doing it when the lights are on, it means absolutely nothing. And it is a tradition, and it's been like this every year. Players we see break out, they do it in training camp and practice, and for whatever reason, when the lights are on, they absolutely just drop the ball. That's what I got right there. So, I mean, look, man, I wish him nothing but the best. Maybe one day he'll catch a pass in preseason. Maybe it will happen one of these days. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it may occur. We changed up a long snapper too, so we got a different long snapper here. Man, I literally was so shocked that we have a different long snapper and a new one. I don't know, this is game changer here. SpeakEZ. I don't know if we can win a game with a different long snapper.
Well, we should be good, man. I think what you grab out of this guy too is play linebacker in that first preseason game, and that's just I knew I had this conversation with Dion the other day. I kind of knew at then that he's going to be our long snapper. If that doesn't scream Dan Campbell guy, if my long snapper can also play linebacker, who cares? We're actually using him or playing him at it. Just know that he can do it. That's a Dan Campbell guy, you know. And
yeah,
I mean seriously.
I'm waiting to see DJ Reader's wide receiver 5.
But I mean, yeah, dude, no, that's a Dan Campbell dude. And look at the situation, maybe like a field goal gets blocked or whatever it may be. Like that's a guy that can make a play for you, you know?
Yeah. Abraham Beauplan released their Antman. So the plan is not making the roster. He probably he's a practice squad candidate. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's like I said, I've been really impressed by the linebackers full stop in preseason. Ty Summers, Adrian Beauplan, Neiman when he played a little bit. I said the problem they had is they were walking into a room that was already set when the season ended. You know, if you're looking down our starting guys, maybe you say what Malcolm's, maybe linebacker 5, whatever, but he's an elite special teamer who's a really good starter. So you've got to be better than that if you want to get to linebacker 5. And, you know, you're not going to do that in 2 weeks of an off season, which is what Beauplan's had. But he's done enough to get himself back here. And like these guys have really worked their tails off. So if you can get him and Summers back, then if you have some injuries in the linebacker room, if you need to bring some of these guys up, like I say, you're going to have very strong people coming up to be able to plug in the gaps. So, you know, I hope he does make it back. They've earned it in a very short space of time. They've worked the tails off. They've earned it. So, you know, hopefully we do see him back. As very quickly for the long snapper, that is a running joke amongst our panel on our show. Their long snappers are, but one of our guys has already bought his jersey, so you will see one Hogan hat and jersey at least during the year.